All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem. The title of my presentation today is Implementing eHomework at RCYCI. My name is Abubakar Adam. Yeah, I noticed that. Akbar, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes,
Hello?
yours is here, yes.
Okay, very good. So as I was saying, this is the outline of the presentation. I will start by giving an overview of what eHomework is, and then I will discuss the goals of eHomework, and then I will talk in more details about the implementation scope of eHomework, where I will talk about the design and the things you need as an instructor, as an educator, in order to come up with a good eHomework. And I will conclude by talking about how to maintain quality of eHomework. Now, by design, this project allows students to have multiple attempts while solving any assessment module, right? Even though in this project we are targeting a homework, but it is applicable even for other assessment types, right? And the aim is to allow students have multiple attempts. By having multiple attempts, their understanding of the concept will be better, because if they keep practicing something over and over again, then their understanding of the concept will be clear, right? The key thing here is that it is okay for students to make mistakes. As educators and instructors, we can tell the student that no problem, don't worry about making mistake. It is okay not to get it right? Some students may be scared or afraid of making a mistake, but as instructors, we should encourage them to take multiple attempts even if they're making mistake. In fact, we should let them know that committing mistakes while attempting questions is an important part of learning, because if you make a mistake and then you learn from that mistake, then it is very, very good for you, right? It's better to make mistake and understand certain things than to fake perfection by getting it the first time. Now, the goals. The first goal is to enhance the subject understanding of RCYCI students. If the students are practicing the same concept or answering questions about the same concept over and over again, then definitely their understanding will be improved, right? And then the second goal is to utilize the e-learning platform and tools in order to enhance the learning outcomes. And also we can improve the learning outcomes of students by setting some specific kind of questions, like questions that has to do with problem solving or technical skills, or questions that will determine the comprehension of the students, right? And if the understanding of our student is really improved, if they have good understanding and the learning outcomes are well covered, then we are going to have a very good representation through our alumni, and therefore RCYCI will have a better image in the outside world, right? And the last goal is to minimize the ability of the student to cheat from each other, right? If you look at all the remaining goals, we're trying to cover them from other assessment. But in particular, in this eHomework project, we're trying to see that we limit the ability of the students to copy from each other, right? I'm going to explain how that is going to work later, inshallah. So in the implementation, what exactly do we need to do? The very first thing we need to do is to come up with an excellent question bank. In fact, 60 to 70% of the work is here, right? The success of your e-homework depends on your ability to come up with an excellent question bank. If you have a very good question bank, then chances are that you're going to have an excellent e-homework, right? So this is where the bulk of the work is. Then once you have an excellent question bank, then you can upload the questions as polls in Blackboard. And using the polls, you can create tests using random blocks. And finally, it is important that you maintain, quality of eHomework. As I said, coming up with an excellent question bank is important. So sometimes it is important you explore other areas, like utilizing questions and answers from the publisher, because they are professionals. So creating the question bank. It is very important you have some sort of structure whenever you are going to create your questions, right, in the question bank. How? The first thing you need to do is to determine the domain where you're going to ask the questions. It could be a book chapter or the module of a course or a particular section. So identify the areas where you're going to create the questions from. Then classify your questions into difficulty levels. Like in this example, we have 3 difficulty levels: easy, moderate, and hard. That doesn't mean that you must have 3. You can have 2 difficulty levels or 4 difficulty levels. It's up to you. Right? But it is very important you categorize your questions into different difficulty level. As I said, in this example, we have 3. Then for each difficulty level, you come up with some questions, right? Like here in this example, for moderate difficulty level, there are 2 questions created. And for each questions, then we can come up with variant. Actually, the variant of question 1 are more or less the same question, but with different touch. All right, I'm going to show you an example in a minute. So it's basically the student will see like they're feeling as if they're answering the same question, but it is slightly modified. And the aim is that different students will see different variant of the same question. Right? How can we come up with a variant of questions? It is a bit easier to come up with a variant of questions if you're teaching scientific and engineering courses. For example, if you look at this, in this question, the students are required to find the half cycle average value of the voltage across R1. From this diagram, there are so many things we can do to maintain the same question by creating different variants. For example, we can change the values of R1, R2, and R3. Or we can determine, maybe ask the student to compute the current or the voltage or the resistance. So from just this diagram, hundreds of variants of questions can be created very easily. Right? That is why I said it is a bit easier to come up with variants of questions if you're teaching scientific or engineering courses. Now, how do we flow? How can the student move from easy to moderate or to hard? And how can the student move across the different difficulty level? We advise faculty members, when you create your questions, make it in such a way that the student will see easier questions first, then moderate questions, before he finally sees hard questions. All right? It doesn't make sense for the student to start with a very difficult question and then he sees an easier question. To be able to achieve this, it is important in your test presentation you uncheck randomized questions. Right? Now, in the future, we can come up with a way to make the eHomework smart. How? By determining the flow from easy to moderate or to hard based on the performance of the student. For example, we can decide to say if the student passes or answers 3 easy questions correctly, then promote him to moderate. And if he or she answers 3 questions in the moderate category correctly, move the student to hard. Right? But if on the other hand, the student is, let's say, in hard and he fails, let's say, 3 questions or 2 questions, demote him to a lower level. Same as moderate, demote him to easy questions, right? And you should make it in such a way that hard question carries more mark than moderate, and moderate carries more mark than easier. So this way, the whole test or the whole eHomework will be smart. But as I said, this is future work. For now, just try to make it in such a way that the student will see the easier questions first, then questions in the moderate category, and finally the hard questions. As I mentioned earlier on, building an excellent question bank is the most important part of this project. Once you have that, all the remaining things you will do are very similar to what other assessments that you have. Uploading questions to question bank as pools, right? If you have your questions, then you're going to have pools of questions in Blackboard. You can either generate them or import them directly, or import them to Blackboard or create them directly. Actually, creating them directly in Blackboard is a bit difficult. But as an example, if you look at what we have here, we have chapter 11 easy, chapter 11 hard, chapter 11 medium. Here we have chapter 12 easy, chapter 12 hard, chapter 12, and so goes with chapter 13. In the easy, there are 11 questions. In the hard, chapter 11, 2 questions. Chapter 11 medium, we have 6 questions. And if you click on each category or each pool, you'll see all the questions that are there, right? And if you click on the question, you can see it. The aim is if you go to easy, the questions are similar. So maybe student 1 will see question 1 and student 2 will see question 2, but the bottom line is that they are seeing different questions, but the questions are of the same level or same category, right? That way, different students are answering different questions and it will help us to avoid cheating. Then once you have the pools, you can easily create your test using random blocks, which is, I'm sure we're all familiar with how to do that. So you create your assessment, call it quiz or call it homework or whatever you want to call it, and you generate your questions using the random block, right? But one key thing that is very important is, since you're going to allow your student to have multiple attempts, then it is very important you uncheck the feedback here. Don't allow them to see the correct answer and other things. Just maybe check the student to see score per questions, or else if the student can see the correct answers, then the aim is defeated. Maybe he'll just take a snapshot, or he or she will take a snapshot, and for the second attempt, they can easily see what the answers are. So remember to check only score per question when you're generating or when you're creating your eHomework. How are the students going to see the result? The question. It's similar to any other assessment, no different. As far as the student is concerned, he or she will see, the eHomework exactly the same as any other assessment. For example, if you call it CS3 78211 quiz 2, the student just need to click on this, and then the student will see the instruction and simply click on begin to start, and the questions will appear just like any other assessment. Okay, and how do you view the student attempts? In order to view multiple attempts, it is important in the multiple attempt sections you specify how many attempts you want to give the student. You want to give them 5 attempts, 11 attempts, or unlimited attempts. Whatever it is, you set it, and then the student can attempt, depending on the number of attempts you give them. For example, you can view the attempts if you go to your grade center. You will see, like, for example, this student has attempted this assessment, quiz 1, on the same day, right? 11 September. How many times? 3 times, right? And the first attempt was 23, then 41, then 15. On the second day, 12th, he attempted it twice. He had 4 and all that. Anyway, you can see that there's a flow, right, in the grade of student. He started from 23, 21. You can see from his attempt whether he is improving or he's not. And that will give you an opportunity to even counsel the student, call the student, advise him on what to do, right? So you can clearly see the attempts by looking at this, by going to the grade center. Now, how do you ensure the quality of eHomework? As educators, I'm sure we have different ways. We have our ways of ensuring that the assessment we give our students are of high quality, right? But just as advice, right, it's important to design excellent question bank. If you don't have a question bank, then definitely your eHomework is going to be very shaky. And it is also very important to come up with excellent guidelines for the student, so that whatever you want them to answer is not vague, is unambiguous. It has to be very, very clear. And then finally, during the test, it is important to have some way of monitoring the student while they're taking the test. Okay, in coming up with an excellent question bank, as I told you, we can get the help of professionals, like considering questions and answers from the publisher. In coming up with excellent guidelines for students, it is important to engage the student. Sometimes as instructors or educators, we don't really see things from the perspective of the student. So if we engage them, in coming up with the instructions or even the whole assessment, I think the whole guideline would be better. Yeah. And to monitor the exam, you can decide to have the exam, maybe have it in class, at the beginning of the class, or in the middle, or at the end. Or if they're doing it at home, you may consider using lockdown browser or respondents monitor. But it's up to you. You can decide to leave it even open for the student to practice on their own. Now, how can we motivate students to do that? Students sometimes are very busy, and you have few students that could be lazy. A student will say, why do I have to do the same thing over and over again? There's no point. You can motivate the students in several ways. One of the ways you can motivate students is to tell them, okay, you can have multiple attempts, but only the highest will be considered. So it doesn't matter, you can fail, you can do whatever, but try as much as you can. You have second chance. I'm gonna consider your highest attempt, whatever your highest score, right? And another motivation could be to use the same poll for other assessment. You give them this poll and tell them, okay, for quiz 1 or quiz 3, I'm going to use the same poll. So the more you practice, the more you attempt, the better chance you have of passing that quiz. Thank you very much for your time. That's the end of my presentation. If you have any question, please bring it on. Sorry. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I'm done with the presentation. Thank you very much. If you have any question, please bring it on.
Thank you, Abubakar, for your
Okay.
presentation, and hope the participants have some questions. Yeah, Abubakar, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, is it possible to share the link?
The link? Okay, share.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Abubakar, for your presentation. And if anyone have the question, so he can ask me. I cannot see any relevant questions. Most of the question is related to the audio issue. Or I will request all the participants, please fill this survey, and also if you are interested to participate this project, yeah, eHomework, please register yourself on this registration link. Okay. If you have any question, Abubakar is here. You can ask the question.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamu warahmatullah.
If you allow me, Mr. Qaisar.
Yes, please, Dr. Yusuf.
Yeah, thank you. This awareness session is meant to familiarize the people with some services and tools that we are supporting as a e-learning department in the e-learning directorate. So these are awareness sessions which familiarize the people with these services, and we just urge the people to use them, and it will make it will improve the education systems that we are dealing with. It will support whatever things that we are trying to do. Part of this awareness session or this tool that Mr. Abubakar has presented is that to let the teacher focus more on things that really matters. If you try to correct manually all the assignments and all the quizzes, it will consume a lot of your time. But we want you to focus more on the things and the changes and the technologies and the new things happen and nowadays to facilitate your way of teaching. And one of the tools is what we're trying to offer to you. It will be automatically graded, and then you could use them as much as you want to deliver the message and to achieve the target that you're looking for. Thank you, Mr. Abubakar, for the presentation a lot. And if there is another questions, please feel free to ask for the other people.
Thank you, Dr. Yusuf. So if you do not have any questions, we will go to the second presentation. So I will invite Mr. Abdullah Fawaz to present his presentation. Okay, please, Mr. Abdullah Fawaz, over to you.
Yes, assalamu alaikum. Now I'm trying to share my screen, so I don't know why it is not shown over here. Is it shown? Is my screen is here? Is my voice clear? Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, yes, it is clear.
Okay, sorry for this interruption, actually, due to unexpected technical issue we have faced. And hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you again and thank you for giving us part of your time and being patient with us and joining our sessions. Second to what Dr. Yusuf Al-Muallim said in the beginning, actually, our role as a e-learning directorate is to lead and facilitate the digital transformation of many aspects of the educational process in RCYCI. And one of these main aspects of the e-learning is the digital educational resources. And mashallah, alhamdulillah, there are a lot of things have been done and facilitated to us in this regard as teachers. In line with that, we are now initiating a new line that will enhance and enrich the e-resources inventory. This line will be built by the students and for the students. And inshallah, the benefits will be for all of us as teachers and students and also as organizations. This new line is the eTutorial video library. And I will go, inshallah, I will take, I will give you, inshallah, a brief introduction in this session about this project. This is Abdullah Fawaz from e-learning department, and let's get started, inshallah. In this presentation, we'll go through these points. We'll take a project overview, then we'll discuss the project goals with you. Then we are going to discuss the implementation scope. In this part, actually, we are going to explain the flow chart and the required steps to implement this project. Then we'll cover how can you access this library, and we'll go through the website. The project actually is to ask the students to make a video library that enhance student-to-student knowledge transfer. In each video, the student should explain how to solve questions from his course. Actually, we believe we believe that due to diversity of the abilities of our students, there will be a variation in levels of understanding of the knowledge that we try to transfer. In another hand, as teachers, we really want to ensure that our students are at the highest level or the best level of understanding. For these two challenges, the diversity of the ability of the students and the ensurance of the highest level of understanding, we think this project will contribute actually to defeat these two challenges. Because through this project, we believe that you as a teacher will ensure that the students who participated in making the videos to explain to their fellows how to solve the problems and questions of your course, you will ensure that these students actually reach to the highest level of understanding. Because as we know that during the learning process, if you can repeat what the teacher said, that okay, but if you can solve the problems also, that is fine. But if you can explain how to solve the problems based on the teacher explanation, that means you reach to the highest level of understanding. So we believe through this project we will achieve that. Also, you will ensure that there is a diversity in the knowledge transfer methodology. So your students will not be only relying on you as a source of knowledge. They will take the knowledge from you, and they will try to also ask their fellows help. So we will have, as a teachers, we will have a diversity of knowledge transfer methodology. As a result of that, the overall student performance and outcomes will be really optimized in a smart way. And that eventually will be positively reflected on the outcome of the course itself, and the program and department and the RCYCI as a division. Our goals in this project, as I stated, is to enhance the knowledge of the RCYCI students, because while participating in making video and explaining to their colleagues how to solve the problems, so by this activity, actually, we enhance the knowledge of our students. Also, we will enhance the reputation of RCYCI at all by sharing the videos that our students make in the public. Also, as a teacher, you will utilize the class time to cover the theoretical concepts and not to waste more time in solving problems. And the fourth goal, and we think this is one of the most important goals, that this activity will contribute in enhancing the students' learning outcomes, especially interpersonal and presentation skills and communication skills, and by default describe fundamental and concepts, which mean deep understanding of the course material. As we said earlier, if the student participates in such activity, we will ensure that he reaches to the deepest level of understanding. And as an implementation scope, I will take you through this flowchart just to imagine how we are going to implement this. So as a teacher, you should look at this flowchart just to understand how the process will go. In the beginning, it will start all from the library website. Mr. Qaisar here, inshallah, will share you the link for that website. From the library website, video library website, the student can fill a request form from here. Through that form, he can upload the video. And after that, the video will reach to you as a teacher, and you will get notified that there is a new request from your students. As a teacher, you have to check the quality of the video. Each submitted video should go through a quality check cycle. Actually, here by quality check cycle, we mean two main criteria. First criteria is the conceptual correctness is checked. We want to make sure that the conceptual correctness is checked, and the video quality is verified. By video quality, we mean the audio and also the video quality in terms of pictures. After that, after checking the quality, you as a teacher, you can either approve the video and then go to the publish process, or you can reject it and return it back to the students, and it will be going back and forth between you and the students until it gets approved by you. This is a screenshot of the student's form that he will fill if he accesses the website. And to help you assess the quality of the video, actually we suggested a rubric here, a scoring rubric here, just to help you score the submitted videos and make a judgment on it. So we put, as you can see here, we put a 50% weight for the knowledge component in the submitted video, and 20% for the presentation skills, and 20% for video quality, and 10% for sound quality. The room is open, actually. I mean, the door is open, and there is room for modification. As a teacher, you can modify. We are here only suggesting a scoring system, but you can modify based on your convenience. And the link of the form, the link of the site will be shared with you now through Mr. Qaisar. Also, the link of the registration form will be shared with you. The access to this library, actually, after now for each course, we are creating on the shared drive. We are creating a different, separate folders for each course, under the name of each course. The library folder in each course is categorized based on the textbook chapters or modules. You as a teacher, after reviewing the submitted videos and approve it, you can submit this video into the folder that is specified for your course in the shared drive. Then these videos will be available by the link. It will be available in the website. Actually, these technical details, we will discuss it later with the ones who registered with us, inshallah, in the separate session. But just now to mention it, just to be aware of it, that the videos that you will upload to the folder, it will be available for your students in the website. And also these videos can be also shared with the public through YouTube channels. Also, if it is shared with the public, it again will be accessed through the library website. Actually, the library website will be the main gateway for us as teachers and for students to access these videos. access and upload these videos. And these are examples from the website, the screenshot from the website. And this is YouTube channel, just for your reference to check that there is one course already over there with corresponding playlist. And that's it. Actually, in conclusion, we believe that with your help, we can build a great library, actually, and all of us will be, inshallah, one time proud of it. We really encourage you to ask your students to start making videos to explain to their fellows. You can even start from today or from next week. Actually, we are really excited to start receiving the registration requests from you, and we are really happy to help you in any problems that you faced. Any difficulties, we are here for you to help. We hope with your help, inshallah, one day we will be proud of our inventory. We dream of, we have a dream to build a great inventory and to make it as an example and case study. Inshallah, our competitors will look at it in a good way, inshallah. That's it for me. I'm happy to hear from you if you have any question. So get back to the questions. Yes, here or Firefox. Okay. This one. So now we are sharing the registration link. Yes.
Any questions coming?
No, does any one of you have any question, any inquiries? We are happy to help, actually. Is my voice clear? Just after facing that problem, now I'm afraid that nobody is listening. So, but just, is my voice clear? Just write on the chat. Anyone can write on the chat that my voice.
Yes, it's clear.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I'm happy, actually. So that's it for me. Thank you very much for being patient with us due to the technical issue that we faced. It was unexpected. I apologize for that on behalf of my department. And thank you again very much for giving us part of your valuable time.
Thank you, Mr. Abdullah Fawaz, for your valuable presentation, and I hope you have no doubt about any question. So if anyone have any questions, so he can send the email through the e-learning department. So we are welcome all of you to answer your questions later if you have any question about these two projects. So. I hope we are near to close the presentation. I will urge all the members to fill the survey and also fill the registration form if you are interested to adopt these two projects. Okay, thank you all.